Alright, this is the second part to my week 4 video summary. The first objective is to explain virtual machines, kernels, file systems, architecture, and hardware components. VMs or virtual machines are software made to run operating systems like standard computers would. Kernels have access to every piece of hardware and software on your computer and are used to take requests from the user, perform the proper option, and send the result back to the user. The kernel is also responsible for allowing your system to multitask by segmenting out time allowances among applications. File systems are a way for your device to store and organize information. Machine architecture is a set of rules that affects the computer functionality, organization, and uses of computer systems. Computer hardware components consist of a CPU, RAM, motherboard, hard disk, and so forth, and is any internal mechanism inside the computer that allows it to operate. The next prompt is to explain command prompt, commands, virus and malware, and users and groups. So command prompt is a way to navigate systems and make changes to system settings using the command line interface, or CLI. In order to successfully navigate the CLI, you need to know commands, which are script-based prompts that get sent as requests to kernel and creates a task to perform. Commands are case-sensitive and user must know which command to enter before being able to navigate the system. Viruses and malware are bits of code meant to inflict harm to a computer and spread. They have to be attached to software to activate, and this will activate when the software is launched. Users can be identified as anyone who uses a computer. You can have several users that show up as visible accounts on the lock screen of any computer operating system. Users have different permissions, with highest being the root user, which is permission level 0. Administrators are next with permission level 1. They do not have as much control to make changes as a root user does, but still have a higher priority than all other users. Groups are organized collections of users that can be used to restrict computer functionality. Using groups, you can set permissions for multiple users at a time. You cannot log into a group like you can a user, but rather manage them from an administrator account. And then the final part is to explain Linux kernel and multitasking, and the sudo command and installing apps. So the Linux kernel is like a standard kernel in that it is responsible for managing the interaction between the user and the software and hardware. The Linux kernel allows for multitasking by segmenting out time segments down to a couple milliseconds for software and applications to run, then runs them in circuit to create a seamless multitasking appearance. The sudo command allows you to make system changes as the root user. This means there are no restrictions commands that you can use, and if you modify components as the root user, you can also type the command su to change your login to the root user. You can install applications through the GUI by accessing your operating system's application store. In there, you search for the application desired and follow the prompts to install it. You can usually retrieve these applications on the desktop or your downloads folder. You can also install applications through the command line interface. The command apt-get or yum install can be used, followed by the application's name.